It was only the second contest of the season, yet it was a game for the ages. In an epic encounter lasting 3 hours, 14 minutes, both teams battled to the bitter end. Showing guts and gumption unknown to this group, it was the Nets who finally ran away from the Bulls. 2 overtimes, 2 nights, 2 games. No sleep, no sympathy. Can the Nets burn the Suns? Next on Yes. The marquee says it all outside Continental Airlines Arena. The Nets and Suns on this Saturday night Alonzo morning. How many hours of sleep? Still looking dapper. Richard Jefferson going with that grunge look tonight as he enters the building. Amar'e Stoudemire, 29 points last night in Philadelphia. And Steve Nash, the new playmaker for the Phoenix Suns. It's New Jersey Nets basketball on Yes tonight. The Suns in New Jersey to battle the 1-1 New Jersey Nets. And great to be with you here on Yes alongside Kelly Tripucka. I'm Spiro Dinas. Ian Eagle is off tonight. And Kelly, Lawrence Frank and his coaches have to be wondering how much his players have left tonight after that double overtime game last night in Chicago. Richard Jefferson turning in perhaps his best game as a pro. 26 points, a career high, 21 rebounds. But Kelly, the supporting cast players also making a big difference. Jacques Vaughn diving for loose balls. Travis Best some big shots. And Alonzo Mourning, his old self, rebounding and blocking shots.
Spiro, I think those guys really played a key role. Probably the biggest role for New Jersey last night. We know about Richard Jefferson in his 2020 game, but how about Travis Best? 2 big shots when the Nets needed somebody to shoot the ball from the outside. Came through there. Jacques Vaughn, you said it. He did all the dirty things. He took a lot of knocks, a lot of bumps, went to the floor, showed a lot of guts, stepping in and taking charges, and probably the biggest play, getting on the floor for a loose ball last night that really sealed the win. Alonzo Mourning, well, can't say enough about him. He was a monster in the middle. Defensively, just throwing away shots. And I think offensively, he played the biggest role down the stretch, particularly in the overtimes with some tough baskets down the stretch. That was huge for New Jersey. The numbers last night, all these guys played a key role, along with the play of Richard Jefferson, just what they needed. Contributions from everybody.
And Kelly, on the other side, me and Tom, to say the Phoenix Suns are an improved basketball team from a year ago would be a huge understatement. Just 29 wins last season. So what do? They go out, bring Steve Nash in as their new point guard. Quentin Richardson now in a Suns uniform, bringing even more athleticism to this Suns ball club. And they win their first 2 games in convincing fashion.
Well, these 2 guys are huge pickups for Phoenix. I think it's going to take them a long way. When you talk about Nash, a lot of guts, handles the ball well, great setup man for those athletes, likes Amar'e Stoudemire and Shawn Marion. When we talk about Quentin Richardson, he's a high flyer, a guy that likes to get to the hole. Very excited player, plays with a lot of enthusiasm and energy. These 2 guys are really going to help this Phoenix Suns team turn around. And when you look at their career numbers, hey, what's not to like? When you throw them together up front with Amar'e Stoudemire and Shawn Marion, this team is really going to make some noise out in the Western Conference.
Well, you can certainly make the argument the Suns could be the most athletic team now in the NBA. Nets and Suns tonight, both teams playing their second games in as many nights. We'll be right back. We welcome you back inside Continental Airlines Arena. The Nets, a very busy offseason, of course, extending the contract of Richard Jefferson. This past week, head coach Lawrence Frank coming to terms a 4-year extension worth $10 million.
I always dreamed of coaching, and got to a point when I was 12 or 13 where I realized that I couldn't play as much as I thought I could play, but I kept on playing. But I always knew I wanted to coach, and that was the steps. And I had great support from my parents, my brothers, some friends that just kept on helping me just kind of promote my dream. And I've been very lucky to be around some really special people to put me in this position.
It's almost like a Hollywood story, really. When you look, Lawrence was not even a very good player in high school, and to go through all the different roles he's had during his coaching career, and then to get to this spot is it's a tremendous story. And but the bottom line is he can coach.
That makes it extra special, the opportunity to come back in your home state, and now married with 2 kids, and to have both my parents, my in-laws, and all family and friends, to be able to share it with them makes it really nice.
So Teaneck, New Jersey, Lawrence Frank solidifying his financial future. Tonight he and the Nets go for win number 2 on the young season. Nets and Suns coming up. inside Continental Airlines Arena on this brisk Saturday night. East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nets and Suns, both teams playing their third games of this 2004-2005 regular season. We will take a look at our Nissan starting lineups. First for the Nets, 1-1 after their victory last night in Chicago. Jacques Vaughn, 16 points in that game. He'll team with Ron Mercer in the backcourt up front. Jason Collins, Eric Williams, and Richard Jefferson, a career high for RJ last night. 21 rebounds in that victory over Chicago. On the other side for Mike D'Antoni's Phoenix Suns, a starting five. Very dangerous in the backcourt. We talked about Steve Nash and Quentin Richardson at the top. Up front, Joe Johnson, Amar'e Stoudemire, and Shawn Marion, a first-time All-Star a year ago. The Nets didn't arrive back in New Jersey until 4:30 this morning. Just a weary group. Quentin Richardson getting the start tonight. Last night coming off the bench, and that's something that Mike D'Antoni has the ability to do now with so many resources, going small or going big tonight. He starts with Richardson.
Yeah, there's no question, Spiro. He's got a lot of different options, and this team is very athletic, as we said, and it'll be interesting to watch as the Nets play. Yeah, they probably didn't get in their beds till about 5 in the morning, but this is part of the NBA, so we'll see how that goes as the game goes on.
Eric Williams trying to battle his way inside, and Steve Nash tracks it down.
They like to run, they like to put points on the board, and they got a lot of different options, as I said.
Joe Johnson off the mark. Williams falling out of bounds. The rebound. Here's Mercer in transition.
And that was pretty. A lot of times when a team takes long shots, as you saw one there by Joe Johnson of Phoenix, leads to long rebounds and the opportunity to run. The Nets have to figure out a way to get as many easy shots as they can.
They have to figure these first few moments very critical for New Jersey as they try to get their legs under him. As Amar'e Stoudemire has the offensive rebound fall right in his lap. He wants to challenge Jason Collins. And it's a reverse dunk attempt.
Well, challenge he did, but back iron. And Phoenix did play last night as well in Philadelphia. They were probably in their beds watching the end of the game that we called last night. You get a look at Stoudemire making a nice move underneath. Drew a lot of iron. Ball goes out of bounds to the Nets.
It's Jefferson down low trying to find Jason Collins. Nicely dunked, banks it off glass, and the Nets down front 4-0. Phoenix has missed its first 4 shots so far.
Yeah, that time they fronted the post area. Nice feed on the inside. Help was over, but it was late.
Richardson top of the arc. Here's Nash working against Jacques Vaughn. Marion, that little fling shot release from the corner. And the ball caroms out of bounds. Last touch by Phoenix.
Yeah, it is an awkward looking shot. We talked about that a little bit in with Fred Hickman, and but you know, it's effective. You know, he's still a pretty solid shooter when he gets his feet set, and but he's still at his best when he gets to the hole, taking people off the dribble or on the fast break.
Marion now consequently the longest tenured Sun as he signed a 6-year contract extension in the summer of 2002. Here's Mercer left open short. Mercer struggling last night, just 3 of 12 from the field. Look at Marion get up on the floor, unable to finish, but a late whistle that time, and Shawn Marion will step to the free throw line.
Get a look. Phoenix at their best when they get out and run, particularly when you got a guy like this, and it's Jess Kersey. You see as he watches, it's one of those instances where if that shot goes in, there is no whistle, I can tell you that. But the fact that he missed that layup, figuring he was going to make it, then he gives him the 2 shots. It's something you see in the NBA a little bit, but they'll never admit to making up calls or making late whistles, that's for sure.
Mike D'Antoni, a similar position as Lawrence Frank, took over as the interim head coach for Phoenix last season. Early after the Suns started so miserably last season, took over for Frank Johnson, and he had his interim label removed during the offseason. Well deserved. Richard Jefferson picking up his first personal a moment ago, now draws contact on the other end.
Tried to isolate there against former teammate this summer. You got to remember Richard Jefferson, Shawn Marion, Amar'e Stoudemire, all participated in the Olympics for the bronze medal winning United States. That's hard to say, isn't it?
Not quite the finish that those young men had in mind, I'm sure. Here's Jefferson off the screen. Picked up late that time by Richardson. Mercer the offensive rebound. And finally, Stoudemire cleans it up.
And we said that they were susceptible at times to offensive rebounds, and certainly the Nets would like to get 2 or 3 opportunities Phoenix has to do a better job of blocking out. They give up a lot of offensive rebounds, particularly obviously for only the first 2 games of the season.
Suns winners last night in Philadelphia. Stoudemire, good feed from Nash.
2 on Jefferson. I believe that's on him.
And it is RJ. That's his second quick personal. And Lawrence Franco conversed with his assistants, but not much to discuss here, as Brian Scalabrine, who last night played just 9 minutes, Kelly, in that double overtime game, so he'll have fresh legs.
Well, it's something that you're going to have to see, maybe see Lawrence Frank go to, is that bench. I mean, conversely, Richard Jefferson is going to come out of the ball game, played 57 minutes. So, you know, back-to-back situation, a lot of minutes. Yeah, maybe you extend that bench a little bit more than on most nights. But, you know, they got big contributions from a lot of different guys, but there are a few guys over there that didn't play a lot. So maybe they'll play more tonight.
Game tied at 4. New Jersey and Phoenix. Our officials tonight: Bob Delaney, Jess Kersey, Ed Malloy. As we move under 9 minutes now left to play in this first quarter. They work down low. Eric Williams again missing a chippy right underneath.
And he certainly did there, and he had a mismatch. A smaller man on him. Couldn't buy it underneath, though.
Suns will beat you so quickly down the floor. Richardson misfiring on a three-pointer. Now Vaughn wants to push. Suns getting back. Vaughn left open. Both teams now struggling from the outside.
And Spiro Richardson not afraid to look at that three-point shot. 3 for 16 after 2 games before missing, I believe, 2 already tonight.
Here is Joe Johnson inside. And Johnson playing a big role last night in Philadelphia, 22 points.
First 2 ball games shooting it at 67%. That tells you he's taking pretty good shots and making plenty of them. Takes advantage of the smaller player down low in the post.
Nice scoop shot finish with the right hand from Ron Mercer.
Pretty penetration, got to attack the defense. Not a big Phoenix Suns team out there right now. They can play a lot of different ways, but you still need to attack a shot blocker like Stoudemire.
Stoudemire trying to attack Scalabrine. Nice defense that time. As the Nets come back quickly, here's Scalabrine. A lot of these scoring burden now falling on the shoulders of Ron Mercer as Jefferson forced to sit with the 2 fouls. And Scalabrine, a three-pointer. Offensive rebound. Collins, it's turned aside by Marion.
Yeah, Marion there. Good reaction.
Marion, no one picks him up.
Even better reaction. How about the block shot and then race down the middle of the floor and finishes with the flush? That's athleticism right there, folks. That was amazing by Shawn Marion.
Marion last night in Philly, 24 points and 11 rebounds as he fills it up that time.
He's a double-double guy, very underrated rebounder in this league. He's consistently up there 9, 10, 11 a game.
Eric Williams spinning along the baseline, his first bucket.
And they could use some scoring, consistent scoring from Eric, who's struggled thus far in the first 2 ball games, just 1 of 10 coming into tonight.
It's the 3rd tie early on in this first quarter. Speaking of Eric Williams, just 5 points last night. Kelly fouled out in 23 minutes. Stoudemire dancing on the rim and finally falling through.
We'd say shooter's touch there, but a kind roll for Stoudemire.
It's a Phoenix Suns team endured its worst season last year in 16 years. It was 29 and 53, but what a start this season. As tonight they look for their first 3-0 start.
There's no question they have higher hopes, and they went out and got players like Nash and like Richardson to try to change the complexion of their team, and they certainly have done that. Watch the play, Shawn Marion with the block, and all of a sudden he will take off, come into your screen at the end. Down the middle of the floor, no one picked him up, and he's a high flyer. The flush, Shawn Marion, great play both ends.
A win tonight for Phoenix would give them their first 3-0 start in 20 years.
They're in the middle of a 4-game road trip. I think they go to Chicago and Cleveland next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. And they've got an opportunity to head back home, you know, an early season road trip, do some damage, and they've been impressive in the early going.
On Mercer, drawing that second defender as they leave Scalabrine open for the three-pointer.
Yeah, good job by Brian to stay home there. Passed it inside, got it back out. The defense did not close out.
The Nets could really use an offensive push tonight from Scalabrine.
Pretty.
As Q Rich, the quick answer, the left-handed bank shot that time.
Well, he's versatile enough where he likes the three-point shot, but he also, since he jumps so well, will go down in the post area. Nice move there, as you said, with the offhand. He got the 2 fists to the temples. I'm still trying to figure out what that is, but it's something the younger generation does. You should know what it is, right?
Something he came up with Darius Miles in Los Angeles with the Clippers. Here is Nash.
Now that's Nash. Right, that is Steve Nash right there. So good in the open floor. If you don't stop penetration, he'll cross over in front of you, get all the way to the hole. And Lawrence is not happy. He's going to take a timeout.
If you're a wing player, hard to find a better point guard to play with than Steve Nash, a distributor, and in this case, deciding to take it to the house himself. Timeout here in New Jersey. Earlier, Scalabrine spotting up for three. Timeout. Tomorrow after the Giants game on Yes, tune in for New York Football Sunday. Join Bob Lorenz of the Yes Network team for live post-game analysis of both the Giants and Jets, plus on-site interviews from local football. Don't miss New York Football Sunday tomorrow after the Giants game right here on Yes. Another weekend of NFL football.
It's been a good week for the locals.
Yes, sir, and they'll try to continue that tomorrow. Look there at Alonzo Mourning.
Big game last night. Boy, he was huge for them. The block shots and the toughness inside, really played smart, and they found him in the right position. But that's typical of what you expect of Alonzo Mourning, getting it done and overpowering people inside.
Here's Scalabrine off the backside of the rim. Collins with another offensive rebound, but this the first of many back-to-back tests for Alonzo Mourning. Of course, his endurance and how much he can push himself physically after he played such a big role last night. 17 points.
Really had to push himself last night. There's no question about it. In that type of game, there's a lot of energy, a lot of physical play. He stood out, though.
Jacques Vaughn the miss. Nets as a team now just 5 of 16 from the field. Phoenix not much better at 5 of 12. Suns with possession, an early three-point advantage. 14-11. Called Joe Johnson's number. He's double-teamed as Collins recognized the mismatch. And a whistle, a defensive 3-second call on New Jersey. Right. It will be Nash to the free throw line.
You saw the Jacques Vaughn get switched off on the bigger Joe Johnson. You know, here's the fact, and Scalabrine gets caught. Alonzo Mourning, he gets caught. And not guarding anyone. That's the reason for the defensive 3 seconds. But that sometimes can happen, particularly when you get a smaller man and a bigger man. You want to go help that guy out. And you're willing to take that rather than give up the easy basket on the inside.
Oh, another net tonight with fresh legs. There aren't many of them. Zoran Planinic now into the game for the first time tonight. Zoran just 9 minutes in Chicago last night. That double overtime victory for New Jersey. Places Jacques Vaughn. Here is Stoudemire. Shot clock down to 9 seconds. And Mourning his first rebound.
Athletic move there from Stoudemire, but a very high degree of difficulty there as Mourning cleans up.
Planinic now isolated with Steve Nash. And a whistle away from the basketball. Jake Voskuhl has checked into the game for Phoenix. Now Q Richardson will sit down. Shawn Marion back in after a quick rest. That's now with Planinic, Mourning, Collins, Brian Scalabrine, and Ron Mercer. Phoenix answering with Voskuhl, Nash, Marion, Stoudemire, and Joe Johnson. Mercer trying to figure out where he wants to go. Finds Mourning. Here's Alonzo stretching out the defense.
Yeah, good job. Alonzo certainly can knock that shot down. Knocked a few down last night in Chicago. There was no defense there to close out on him, and he gets a free look from 18. Nash, he just does what he does well. Handles the ball, takes good shots, and he'll make some tough ones as well. That one wasn't so easy, but he made it look easy.
Well, Nash fought through some foul woes last night in Philadelphia.
Good defense there, fronting the post, trying to go inside to Planinic.
Here's Nash trying to bank it off glass, and Mourning collects the rebound.
And that's one Steve will usually make there. I think he's frustrated with himself, left it a little short. Hit the side of the iron.
Alonzo now isolated with Voskuhl, back to the rim. Finds Mercer along the perimeter.
Off and running.
Johnson and Steve Nash. It's 2-on-2. And a nice defensive play there. As Planinic getting a hand on it, knocks it out of bounds.
Yeah, Zorn did a good job there, Spiro, getting back in transition. You're going to see as he plants himself, he looks like he tries to get a charge there, and he didn't get that, but the reaction was very good to knock it away. And Alonzo Mourning, you see him straight away last time down. Little fist pump upstairs, say thank you, and I think the fans here say thank you to Alonzo.
Now Maciej Lampe, the second-year player Out of Poland, checks in for the first time for the Suns. Just 19 years of age. As Morning able to draw contact again. It appears as though it is Jake Boskel. And that's the second early personal on the former UConn star. Another timeout here on East Rutherford. Richard Jefferson saddled with some foul woes here in the early going. Picked up 2 quick personal fouls, and Kelly will take another look at some of his numbers last night. Career highs in minutes, rebounds, and 11 turnovers, unfortunately.
Yeah, Richard almost went for the proverbial quadruple double. You see 1 assist from the triple double, but boy, you know, the minutes, that was huge in a game to play that long and to play at the level that he played at. And you know, the rebounds, he wasn't scoring and shooting well early on, but he was rebounding, he was doing other things, and he really carried this team down the stretch, and it shows the sign of maturity there and how far Richard Jefferson has come. But in the early going, as you know, in a game there where he needs some rest, I'm sure he doesn't want to sit over there with foul trouble.
There's Morning over 2 Phoenix Sun defenders, and Scalabrine there to tap it home.
Spiro, you said over 2 defenders, and that was the reason why Brian was able to get in there, because he was unguarded, jumped up quickly for the tip-in.
Johnson, Lawrence Frank racing down the sideline, calling out that offensive set that he recognized from Phoenix. Couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, Joe Johnson's a good shooter, gets a good look there from about 15 feet, and burns the Nets defense that time.
Joe Johnson off to a quick start, 2 of 4, 4 points. And another whistle here defensively. Phoenix Suns.
So right now, Phoenix having a little trouble in keeping Alonzo out of position. He's a handful, and he's going to head to the foul line as Phoenix in a with now 5 team fouls, which will put them over the limit. Alonzo will have 2. He was the only one that struggled last night from the free throw line. The only net, I believe, to miss a free throw last night was Alonzo.
Nets at one point made 24 straight foul shots in that game. Finished the night 31 of 35 in Chicago as Eric Williams checks back in, replaces Jason Collins.
You think they let him know about it? He took the 4 misses. Everybody else was perfect. Probably telling Zoe you got to work on the free throws.
To find a line.
Yeah.
Alonzo just a tremendous overall performance in that game. 17 points.
But the only thing he didn't do well was the free throw shooting, but it didn't cost him in the end as they were able to pull out an exciting win in Chicago.
Down second-year point guard Leandro Barbosa out of Brazil became the starting point guard for the Suns last January. That's Joe Johnson again from the outside.
Working just a little isolation against Buford that time, and again Lawrence Frank running by us almost like he's on a fast break, trying to direct his team defensively, but once again to no avail.
Planinich trying to get the Nets back into their set. Some of the offensive shooting numbers in the early going. Here's Zoran. Flat-footed jumper, rims in and out. Offensive rebound, Williams.
Good pump fake there by Williams.
And the Newark native will step to the free throw line for the first time tonight.
Again, another offensive rebound. Works out for the Nets as Eric Williams gets a little head and shoulder fake, got the defenders up in the air, and smart play, leaned in, takes the contact, he heads to the line for a pair.
Second foul on Shawn Marion. Well, speaking of minutes played last night, RJ the second most, tying Orlando Woolridge. A game back in 1987, a 4 overtime game, a quadruple overtime game against Golden State. Buck Williams, of course, the all-time record, 60 minutes in that game.
One of those guys, contemporaries of mine. You saw Williams on there twice, Buck Williams and Maurice Lucas, Orlando Woolridge, teammate of mine at Notre Dame, and played against him in the league for quite a while.
They don't have numbers here. Planinich backpedals at resets. Barbosa getting a hand on it.
Barbosa, a guy that a lot of quickness and long arms. He could give Zoran some problems.
He is a 6'10" wingspan as Planinich unable to finish with the left hand. Here's Barbosa, nifty ball handling, and an offensive foul called against Barbosa.
Yeah. Nifty ball handling, Spiro, but a little out of control as he goes behind his back. See, his head's down, and now he doesn't see the defender at the last minute. Great job there by Eric Williams. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. Step up, take the contact, and that's where Barbosa has to learn to come to a stop. They teach you that when you're 5 years old playing some hoops. Stop at that foul line and make the pass. Don't continue on. You create contact, you pay the price.
It's 3 combined turnovers in this opening quarter. Under a minute left now in this opening stanza. Mourning has it deflected away, bothered there on the outside by Richardson. Last touch by Phoenix. Nets will have it with 7 to shoot.
Nets really struggled last night with the turnover department. Speaking of that, that's high on the list. Obviously, even when you shoot it as well as they did, you can't afford to have that many turnovers in a game.
There is Planinic hanging in midair, and a foul is called. With the shot clock winding down, Zoran recognizing that the play had broken down, and he'll step to the free throw line.
Well, good job by Zoran to use that size that he has. Take advantage of your height, get inside. He's always been able to penetrate. Tough shot. Give him 2. Try to make it 3 at the line.
So the 4th tie now between these two teams in this first quarter. Deadlocked at 21. Nets and Suns tonight here at the Meadowlands. 3rd game of the season for both teams.
He's been a hot guy, Johnson.
There's Johnson, and a tip in by Stephen Hunter, who's checked into the game for Phoenix.
Well, again, all that help came over. A couple of guys trying to go for the block shot, and smart play to take up the slack there for the putback.
Hunter in his 4th season out of DePaul, signed a free agent contract with the Suns in August. Here is Mourning inside, down to 10 seconds left in the quarter. Ball knocked around and taken by Johnson. Had a buzzer beater to close the first quarter last night in Philly. That time it's deflected from behind, out of bounds. Now Casey Jacobson, the 3-point shooting threat, checks in for offensive purposes.
Spiro looks like Alonzo a little winded, and Lawrence is going to take an opportunity to get him out with 4 seconds to go early. Played hard, and of course, a lot of minutes last night. You always have to be careful and watch him, but another strong effort from Alonzo as he'll get a head start to that rest between quarters.
Alonzo, 5 minutes play. Here's the 2nd-year man, Lampe.
You forget about it sometimes because Lampe is a shooter.
Long full court heave by Scalabrine, caroming off the backboard. So the Nets and Suns, both teams playing the back end of a back-to-back set tonight here at East Rutherford. Offensive performances on both sides so far. Lawrence, Frank, and New Jersey going for their first win streak of this young season.
I know what I'm capable of doing, you know, and I know what my doctors tell me, you know, so none of that really surprises me, you know. I still got a ton of room for improvement, you know. I'm missing free throws out of there, key free throws that could have put the game away, and, you know. So, I mean, when you've been where I've been, you know, all my career and done what I've done all my career, feeling the way I feel right now, good, I expect more of myself.
Well, Alonzo Mourning answering questions about his physical state after that double overtime game last night in Chicago. Ronnie Buford, who did not see any action in that first quarter, off the mark. Now Joe Johnson controlling for Phoenix. Starting the 2nd quarter, Nets and Suns here at the Meadowlands. Phoenix a 4-point advantage, 25-21. Here's the 2nd-year man, Maciej Lampe, and the Nets may be wise to step out on that shot.
Lampe is a 6'10", 6'11" shooter. There's no question about it. He's got great range on the jump shot, and you see why. He just knocked down the last 2 shots for Phoenix.
Lampe, a 2nd-round pick of the New York Knicks back in the 2003 draft.
Lampe was open down the court. They didn't see him, or Joe Johnson decided not to throw it.
There's Jacobson, the former Stanford star, who's actually been bumped down in the rotation after the acquisitions of Nash and Richardson. But Jacobson's still a very capable offensive player.
Oh, makes their bench stronger. You know, going back to Alonzo Mourning, what he was talking about, you know, he's been such a great player in this league for such a long time. It's not surprising. You have to play without any doubts, and I think Alonzo's starting to feel more comfortable and very assured of himself.
Suns in the midst of an 8-0 run. Here's Johnson tripped up. Scalabrine going to dive for the loose ball that time, and it'll be called for the personal as the Nets start the 2nd quarter with Scalabrine, Planinic, Eric Williams.
You like the hustle, no question about it. Get on the floor, but looked like Veal took out the legs of Johnson there. You have to make that call, unfortunately. And Brian will take a seat as he's replaced by Collins.
Suns Kelly countering with Stephen Hunter, Steve Nash, who's just checked back in, Casey Jacobson, Maciej Lampe, and Quentin Richardson. Steve Nash, 10 minutes in that first quarter, 5 points. Suffered through foul problems last night. Lampe feeling it right now. A long two-pointer. And Maciej Lampe cold off the bench, getting right into it.
Well, not surprising, too. That's a good guy to run a screen and roll action. With Steve Nash and Lampe, you got a shooter and you got a guy that also can shoot and penetrate. That's tough to handle. Maybe Lawrence has to go back and find Richard Jefferson some minutes very, very soon. We're going to take a break here. Nets find themselves down 10.
Every Sunday at 9 o'clock in November, Yes rolls out all new episodes of Bex Presents Center Stage. Join Michael Kay when he sits down with Phil Jackson, Phil Simms, Mia Hamm, and Nets forward Richard Jefferson. It all starts tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Phil Jackson right here on Yes. And there is RJ still on the bench. Picked up those 2 early personals.
I'm surprised he hasn't gone back to him yet. I mean, you know, 2 fouls is something you have to sit for, but now into the second quarter, and Phoenix starting to spread themselves away from the Nets. Won't be surprised Richard back in soon, but not as of yet.
Suns right now riding the hot hand of Maciej Lampe, 6 points off the bench. As Phoenix in the midst of a 10-0 run. Eric Williams double teamed along the baseline. Aaron Williams, the offensive putback.
Crashing the boards there, an opportunity for Williams, couldn't come up, but again, the Nets 3 or 4 guys on the offensive glass, and the A-train comes up with a putback.
Aaron last night just 6 minutes played in that double overtime game. The ball deflected into the backcourt.
New clock.
Amar'e Stoudemire set to check in at the scorer's table.
There it is again.
Here's the second-year man out of Poland, Lampe again from the outside.
I can't stress enough. Again, good combination to run any kind of screen roll that time from the top, because you got a shooter, a big man at that, and Nash is so good at penetration. You have to respect him. And if you come off him, you leave open a shooter, and your rotations are late, you're going to pay.
Kelly, you look at some of the resources for this Suns team. They are so dangerous with the depth and the versatility that they have off the bench. If a guy like Lampe can step up and knock down shots like that, this is a very tough team to deal with.
No question, Spiro. You never have enough shooters, and particularly a guy with some size, too. But, boy, it's amazing how quickly things can change. A team that struggled, as you said, last time, about 20, their season last season, 29-53. You know, boy, now they're playing with a lot of confidence. They got some new blood and some new enthusiasm. But you're right, they're very deep, and they play a style that's very tough to stop.
Travis Best into the game for the first time tonight for New Jersey.
They'll run a lot of screen and rolls with Travis. He's
shot clock down to 1
and get it off.
Ronnie Buford, hard to fault him in that situation.
Nope, was not Buford's fault. You know, again, everybody has to see the clock, and Travis came off of that screen and roll situation. Didn't look like he knew how much time left, and then when he made that pass, it was just too late for Rodney to do anything with it.
Nets bench getting outscored tonight by the Suns reserves, 14-4 so far. As we move under 9 minutes now left to play before halftime. Nash off the screen, picked up by Best. He's trying to free up their playmaker up top. Here's Marion, shot clock down at 8. And a whistle stops play. Bumping foul called against New Jersey. Eric Williams.
Spiro, when you spread the floor for Steve Nash, he's so good at finding people, and those people that he's finding, guys like Marion that are athletic, Joe Johnson, who can all of a sudden, when you recover back to them, not only can they shoot it, but they can put the ball on the floor and go by you. It really puts a lot of pressure on the defense, as it did that time with Williams picking up the foul.
Well, Nash that time trying to find Marion up top.
That was a little difficult pass there.
Nash comes up with the steal. Stoudemire couldn't handle. Now New Jersey trying to push tempo. Phoenix, nice job getting back. A 3-on-2 break. And New Jersey comes up empty.
You're right, an opportunity there. They had the numbers, and maybe the effects of last night, who knows. But Nash uncharacteristically turns it over as well. So a little sloppy play last 2 possessions.
New Jersey last night, 30 turnovers, as Kelly pointed out. Tonight, just 4 so far. The offense certainly not clicking here at the start. New Jersey just 9 of 31. And Nash and Phoenix, meantime, taking advantage.
Very rarely do you see Steve Nash out of control. You see how he came to a jump stop, make sure that he doesn't overcommit, and then still makes the shot in the paint area.
Nash now 3 of 4, 7 points to lead Phoenix.
Good show there at the top by Hunter.
Shot clock down to 4 seconds. Best works into the corner. Mercer has to force. And Marion catches the air ball. Here is Hunter, big fella getting down the floor, and a blocking foul called on New Jersey. Travis Best whistle.
I think Phoenix a little fortunate there, is you never really want to throw the ball on a fast break situation to a big man where he has to put it on the floor, and look like Hunter is going to be out of control. You're going to see it the last minute, and Best, you know, it's tough to go in there, have the guts to take a charge on a big man, and you saw Travis Best not completely in front, and Hunter fortunate as he gets to the line for a pair as he's in the act of shooting.
First foul called on Travis Best, so Stephen Hunter to the free throw line for Phoenix, his 4th NBA season out of DePaul. See what his role will be now. The Suns yesterday, Kelly, going out and signing one of their old players, veteran Bo Outlaw, figures to bring even more toughness and versatility to this lineup. And we'll see what Mike D'Antoni does with a guy like Stephen Hunter, a big man who's given them some good minutes here.
Yeah, well, Hunter's a project still, but he has gotten better. You know, thin body, but very long again, athletic build, can block some shots. And again, he's in there just as a guy that can rebound and play some defense and block some shots. If he does that, he helps this ball club.
This will be time to fall into a 14-point hole. Travis Best too strong as Jefferson trying to save it. Unable to do so, and the basketball back to Phoenix. It's being outscored 10-2 in this second quarter.
Yeah, a little weary, really not getting anything going. Could be the effects again of last night, but again, there are no excuses, but the Nets certainly have to get their defense going a little bit here. Too many easy shots like that one. The bounce, Nash to Marion, two-handed flush.
Well, the Nets victimized by the playmaking abilities of Steve Nash. That time Marion was wide open under the basket.
They can slice you up and cut you up, and Steve Nash does it as well as any point guard in this league. And right now, things not going well for the Nets.
Well, Jefferson unable to corral the pass. Another New Jersey turnover. Nash trying to find a teammate. Ball deflected by A-Train.
Good anticipation there from Aaron. He read that pass.
The Nets desperate for points here. Mercer spinning inside, and he finishes off glass.
Nice little move there as he takes it right at the defense and spins off him.
Kelly, the Nets need something from Mercer tonight. 3 of 7 for him here at the start, 6 points.
Well, they need some consistency, and points have been hard to come by at times, other than what Jefferson's provided.
There's Nash from the outside, and again the Suns answer.
What makes him so tough, Spirit of guard, is you have to respect his ability to penetrate. The excellent ball handler, always makes the right decision, but he also can burn you from the outside. So you play back anticipating the drive, and he pulls up and shoots it.
There is Jefferson forcing the issue along the baseline.
We know what he can do going to the basket. Strong drive, not afraid of contact, and Richard Jefferson gets it done along the baseline.
So RJ 26 last night. That is first bucket of this game. As Marion's shot rolls off.
He had a mismatch that time against Best. Unfortunate there. It rattled in and out for him.
RJ picking up 2 early personals tonight. That's trying to work him back into the offense. Phoenix recognizing that. They double RJ. Jefferson doesn't carry, forces anyway. And Amar'e Stoudemire the rebound.
He was looking for some contact, no whistle.
Here is Nash to Stoudemire.
How about that for the young fella? Travis Best slid over anticipating the pass, and Stoudemire did a great job of avoiding the charge and still concentrating to kiss it off the window.
Well, the Suns will not be denied right now. They're scoring in their half-court sets and also in the transition game, thanks in large part to the ball distribution of Steve Nash. Stoudemire off glass. Timeout.
Back at the Continental Airlines Arena, Nets trail 43-27. Maciej Lampe, huge contribution off the bench. You're going to see screen and roll situation. Lampe is going to set a screen here, and as Steve Nash comes off of it, Jason Collins has an option. Well, what do I play, the ball handler or the guy that's setting the screen? Well, he chose the wrong one. Again, here's the screen. He'll come off the screen and then step back for the open shot. The rotation defensively not there, and against a shooter and a guy that can penetrate and dish like Nash makes Lampe a difficult guard, and he has been huge thus far, Spiro, in this ball game off the bench for Phoenix.
Maciej Lampe, his second NBA season, just 19 years of age. Showing you some of his repertoire from the outside. New Jersey coming back with Alonzo Mourning, Mercer, Richard Jefferson, Jacques Vaughn, and Jason Collins. Shot clock down at 2. Jefferson has to get it off. And Mourning the offensive rebound. Fresh 24, and Alonso right around Amar'e Stoudemire.
That's just being at the right place at the right time. It looked like Mourning was standing there in a corner, and off the miss from Jefferson came right in his hands, but then all of a sudden he got excited and finished.
Well, Nash beating his man Vaughn, then trying to drop off for Stoudemire, turned it over.
It looked like Stoudemire read the pass by Nash.
Looks like Stoudemire still getting acclimated to that quick ball distribution of Steve Nash in certain situations.
You got to have your hands up all the time, otherwise he'll hit you in the head with it.
Shawn Marion partially blocking that shot. Shot clock did not reset. It's down to 4 seconds. Here's Mourning battling underneath. Again, able to beat Stoudemire.
Yeah, that's just brute strength there. Great job by Alonso Mourning. And right now, I think the Nets have to try to get a steady diet of Alonso inside against Phoenix to climb back in it. They're down 12 now.
Mourning now, 6 minutes, 8 points, and 3 rebounds off the bench in this game. Here's Stoudemire drawing contact.
Probably going to be a shooting foul as Alonso, again, maybe a little tired, grabbing on defense. But he's been the one guy that's given him consistent offense thus far tonight. Alonso working hard, calling for the basketball. This was off the miss. He's relaxing. Next thing you know, he ends up with the basketball, turns, finished with a flush. And then they recognize that he's got it going. This is just brute strength against 2 or 3 defenders, able to muscle it in.
Alonso Mourning in his 13th NBA season out of Chesapeake, Virginia.
Sometimes you work hard for a ball and you don't get it. Other times you're relaxed and just kind of hanging around. The ball ends up finding you.
Well, as a veteran, you know where to pick your spots to catch your breath in different situations. And Alonso there surprised as the ball just kind of fell in his lap there under the basket.
Now they're going to set a screen, try to bring him to the basketball. As Mercer setting the screen for Mourning.
Alonso trying to step in front of Stoudemire, now steps out. Too strong with it.
We get Collins here, Spiro, I think, on the underneath foul. A little shove in the back.
That's the first on Jason.
Over the limit, I believe. That means I think it's Marion was the one that was pushed. He'll head to the line.
Lawrence Frank in New Jersey trying to search for their first winning streak on the season. Winners last night, that double overtime epic in Chicago, a game that lasted 3 hours and 14 minutes. Nets didn't arrive into New Jersey until 4:30 a.m. this morning. Shawn Marion steps to the free throw line for Phoenix.
Marion, a usually reliable free throw shooter, misses a pair there.
John Vaughn now controlling. They go down low to Jefferson, working against Joe Johnson, and RJ's pass from Mourning is intercepted.
Telegraph there. No chance of getting that through 2 or 3 defenders.
Johnson will give him an inch. He's going to try to throw it up there as Mourning cleans it up, and Marion steals the outlet pass and finishes.
Now that's quickness. That's athleticism. That's Shawn Marion.
Well, people overlook his length so often, but he is a guy, in addition to his scoring and slam dunking, Kelly, he will block shots and rebound for you all night.
No question. Cat-like reflexes, and you saw it there. Great anticipation to pick it off.
Here's Marion trying to close out on Jefferson. It will be RJ to the free throw line, but first, a timeout. Well, look tonight at all the weapons for this Suns team. Marion stealing that Zoe outlet, and a two-handed flush for the Phoenix Suns. A timeout here in East Rutherford. Nets fans, here's a way to enjoy the excitement of Nets basketball and save money. With the 8-game weekend and weekday mini plans, you get a discounted ticket and a 9th game at no additional cost. If flexibility is what you need, go for the Pick 6 plan. Remember, all Nets mini plans give you tickets at a discounted price along with other benefits. Call 800-7-NJ-NETS today or order your Nets mini plan. Be a part of it. Call 1-800-7-NJ-NETS. Spiro Ditas, Kelly Tripucka, our entire Yes Network team here at the Meadowlands as Richard Jefferson knocks down a pair at the free throw line. New Jersey trying to cut into this 14-point Phoenix Suns advantage.
And now we're going to see the Nets zone it up here on this possession by Phoenix. See if this can change a little bit of the tempo.
Joe Johnson left open.
Guess not.
You have to worry about Steve Nash so often, you forget about a guy like Joe Johnson.
Well, I was going to say, Nash is a quarterback, okay? He recognizes what the defense is, and it's his responsibility to get them in what they're supposed to do. A little penetration, skip pass to find the open shooter on the wing.
There is Jefferson, a quick answer for New Jersey.
Again, penetration. Richard's so good at taking his man off the dribble one-on-one, makes a tough little shot, great body control in the lane.
Well, Nash already matching his point production from last night, 9 points, also 6 assists so far tonight.
And he doesn't have to score, but he can if needed.
There's Marion, another offensive weapon. Johnson turned aside by Mourning. There's Collins trying to find the loose ball, but Marion ends up with it.
No change of possession, shot clock at 15, still plenty of time.
Richardson, a wide open look at a three. And Jefferson tracks down the loose ball.
Quentin Richardson's going to continue to take threes until he makes a few.
Here is Ron Mercer. Closeout by Richardson. Mourning, another offensive rebound. And he stuffs it over Stoudemire. And they're going to get Alonso for hanging on the rim that time. So again, giving New Jersey a very needed boost off the bench tonight.
Well, working hard once again. You see this great strength and muscle, flush it, and then decides to do a chin-up as well. And that is not allowed in the NBA. You like the aggressiveness, the intensity, the enthusiasm from Alonzo Mourning, but went a little bit over the bar there. And he gets called for a technical foul for hanging on the rim, and Nash converts, an excellent free throw shooter. How about that? Maybe Alonzo wanted to get himself not only fired up, but take a little bit of a break, show you that he's back with the strength to do a little chin-up.
Well, Zoe, of course, has that physique to maintain. Figured he'd get in an extra few pull-ups there on the rim.
There's no argument, certainly from Alonzo or from Lawrence Frank, and but you like him battling. You like to see the signs that we're used to seeing from Alonzo Mourning in years past, and certainly after what he's been able to accomplish, what he's gone through with the transplant and what have you, it's good to see.
And Alonzo tonight, the first net in double digits, 10 points and 5 rebounds. We approach the final minute of play of this first half here at the Meadowlands. Final 7 seconds of the shot clock now. Here is Johnson, surrounded by 3 net defenders. Nash wide open, and he knocks down a 3.
At the shot clock buzzer was not drawn up. Actually going to be a 2, they'll say, maybe a toe on the line. But still, that play never developed, but somehow they managed to get it to Steve Nash, and he got it up before the shot clock expired. Counted as a 2, folks. Counted as a 2.
Reminder to stay tuned for Heineken at the half. Fred Hickman will be along with scores and highlights from around the NBA. There is Jefferson spinning in the lane.
That's a pretty shot there. Under control there. Richard Jefferson spinning along the baseline and getting it to crawl over the rim.
RJ after the early foul trouble now. 8 points. Stoudemire following his own miss over Alonzo Mourning.
He saw Alonzo coming. Alonzo made him change his shot. But the difference there is the quickness to get back off the floor. He was first off the floor after the miss, and Alonzo couldn't handle that.
Final half minute of the second quarter. Here's Jefferson trying to work against Joe Johnson. Now Jacques Vaughn, flat-footed, long-range jumper from Vaughn, a 2-point field goal. And so the Nets offense now starting to come alive.
Yes, Bear, he doesn't look for his shot often, but just to keep you honest, that shot by Jacques Vaughn is available and knocks it down.
And Vaughn last night, 16 points in 40 minutes in Chicago. Final 5 seconds. Stoudemire absorbing contact. Good look underneath. And again, that unselfish ball movement by this Phoenix basketball team. And will be Richardson to the free throw line.
The game of basketball is a lot of fun when you move the basketball and you share, and they are very disciplined in that area.
Quentin Richardson officially coming to terms with the Phoenix Suns back on the 29th of July this past summer. And what an addition he has been, arguably now making this Suns team the most athletic team, Kelly, in the NBA. And another reminder to stay tuned. Heineken at the half coming up at the break. Fred Hickman will be along. A look around the NBA on this Saturday night. Richardson knocks down his second free throw. Phoenix with a 57-41 lead, down to 1 second. And Richard Jefferson will just run out the remaining time as the first half horn sounds. here at Continental Airlines Arena. The Nets, their hands full tonight against this undefeated Phoenix Suns team. And they find themselves in a 16-point halftime haul. 2 quarters complete, Shawn Marion. And this Phoenix team ever so dangerous offensively.
Welcome, everybody, to Heineken at the Half. I'm Fred Hickman, and the score after one half of play here at Continental Airlines Arena, 57-41 in favor of the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns, in fact, shooting 55% in the first half, flirting with 60% much of the first half, so we can see why they are the league's top offense at this very early juncture of the season. Let's check out the highlights of the first half in case you missed any or all of the action. Shawn Marion bringing his Suns into Jersey tonight after, of course, the victory in Philadelphia last evening. The Suns at 2-0. First quarter action here. Brian Scalabrine misfires. Twin puts it up, but the Matrix blocks it, and the Suns come out on the run. Steve Nash marshaling the floor, gives it to Matrix, who slams it home. So it begins and ends with him on that play. Suns by 2 early. Late in the first, Alonzo Mourning drops the J at the top of the key. Quality minutes turned in by Alonzo Mourning. 15-13, the Suns still leading by 2. Late first, Zoran Planinic takes the inbounds, drives, puts it in, crazy shot, and 1. The Suns lead cut to 1 at 21-20. Then Maciej Lampe in the second quarter. Mid-range jumper. A real big spark for this Phoenix team off the bench. 31-21, the Suns opening up a 10-point lead. Late in the second, Steve Nash does it by himself. Pulls up, falls away, drops it. 41-25 Phoenix. And then late in the second, Marion steals it from Zoe and takes it right to the rack. So Phoenix playing some timely defense, some solid, good motion offense, and opening up that 16-point edge at the halftime break, 57-41. And there you see the scoring there. Mourning with 10 points and 5 rebounds. Mercer with 6 points and a couple of assists along the way. Let's check out Steve Nash. Now, you know he was an off-season acquisition for this ball club. Great floor general out there. Originally drafted by the Suns, and he spent those 6 years in Dallas, but comes right back, and he makes everybody around him better. That is what is sparking this prolific offense for them. Nash, 5 of 6, 83% shooting from the floor out there. He has 12 points and 6 assists along the way, and that's where he makes his money, with those assists. Off the bench, Maciej Lampe was like Maciej Johnson out there for the minutes that he was in there. He sparked that 10-0 run, of course. A nice bench effort for the Phoenix Suns along the way. Lampe, 4 of 5 shooting. He shot 80% from the floor. The Phoenix Suns, in general, shooting very well as a club. There you see he had the 1 rebound along the way, but giving them a nice little lift off the bench. Now we'll take a look at the scoring all the way around. Nash with 12, Stoudemire with 10, Johnson 9, Marion with 8. Good balance for the Suns. Alonzo Mourning leading the way for the Nets with his 10 points off the bench. Richard Jefferson just 8 after that prolific game last night. Mercer with 6, and Brian Scalabrine has chipped in 5 points along the way. You add it all up, 57-41, the Suns by 16. Going to take a break, but coming up on Heineken at the Half, we'll have lots more of the out-of-town action for you on this busy Saturday night. The Knicks with their home opener against the Celtics. We'll see how it's going when we come back.
East Rutherford, New Jersey on this Saturday night, early November. Halftime winding down here inside the Meadowlands, and the Phoenix Suns in control right now. A 16-point lead over the Nets, 57-41. As we welcome you back to courtside, Spiro Ditas along with Kelly Tripucki. Kelly, we talked about all the weapons tonight. Mike D'Antoni can beat you so many different ways now with the backcourt, of course, of Nash and Quentin Richardson. 55% shooting for Phoenix in that first half.
Well, we knew this was going to be a tough matchup for New Jersey because, as you said, that athleticism that they have, and New Jersey coming off a tough double overtime win in Chicago last night. Maybe you don't have all their legs, but it's still no excuse because, again, with Phoenix, you know what you're going to get with the additions of Nash and Richardson, and they already had Stoudemire and Marion there. It's a difficult team to match up one-on-one. They get up and down the floor. They rebound the basketball. They're very quick defensively, and I think it showed with the 16-point lead they have now at half.
And those 2 early personals on Richard Jefferson, it seemed like it took New Jersey a while, not only to figure out what Phoenix was doing offensively, but to get into their own half-court sets.
And that's something where they're going to have to grow during the course of the season. We know that Lawrence Frank is still trying to find the right combinations and playing different people, and certainly they've got to find a second option besides Richard Jefferson. Alonzo Mourning, I thought, played very well, gave them some physical play inside, but they're just not getting enough help from everybody else. And with what Phoenix is doing, they're getting the ball off the glass, and they're trying to run up and down the court. Nash is doing an excellent job setting up people. We saw them run the screen and roll with Maciej Lampe, who did a great job for Mike D'Antoni off the bench. You got a shooter and different weapons, inside, outside, penetration, athleticism. They're getting second and third chance opportunities. They're really doing a nice job in the first half.
And Kelly, we take a look at the first half statistics tonight. 2 quarters complete here at the Meadowlands. Told you about the shooting numbers. 55% for the Phoenix Suns. 2 quarters complete. New Jersey, meantime, came on late in that second quarter, but finished just 37% for that first half.
Oh, you saw New Jersey's most success was in points in the paint, so they did a nice job of getting, as we said they would have to, second and third chance opportunities. Where they got hurt was in fast break and transition with a guy like Steve Nash and those athletic guys. You're going to be in trouble. And let's get a look at some of those plays that we talk about. Steve Nash leading the way. Great penetration, great ball handler, can find the athletes like Shawn Marion finishing on the break. And again, Nash dropping it off to a guy like Amar'e Stoudemire, who finishes inside on a nice little break point off the glass. And of course, what the Nets were able to do inside, down low, and that means Alonzo Mourning really fighting tooth and nail, taking on a lot of different defenders. Great job here, keeping it alive, finishing even though he got the technical foul. Richard Jefferson, nice job as always with penetration. A couple of nice shots there in the lane. Great job by Richard Jefferson. The Nets are going to need more of that and more defense.
So halftime winding down. Second half action coming up from East Rutherford right after this.
On an all-new Beck's presents Center Stage, legendary NBA coach and Zen master Phil Jackson.
At that point, I really knew that, my ability to coach Kobe had ended.
Beck's presents Center Stage premieres tomorrow at 9.
Only on Yes.
Introducing the new 2005 Ford Escape XLT Edition. Equipped with a more powerful engine, superior ride and handling, luxurious interior appointments, leather seating, premium sound, and so much more. And right now you can purchase a Ford Escape XLT Edition for $269 a month. Just $269. Extraordinary savings for a limited time only.
Gather around the fire for another season of Yankees Hot Stove on Yes. Join Bob Lorenz, Susan Waldman, and special guests for inside info on all the trade talk and clubhouse chatter. Yankees Hot Stove premieres Thursday night at 6:30 and 10, only on Yes.
Well, Alonzo Mourning off to a quick start again tonight, and last night after that double overtime thriller, talking about the Nets forced to learn how to play with one another here early on in the season.
When you're a team that has just been assembled, this team was just assembled, man. These guys are first time playing together, You're going to run into situations where you're not familiar with each other. So with that said, the only way for you to grow is communication and time on the court together. And that's all that was out there. That was a growth period for this team collectively.
And Kelly, Alonzo and these Nets certainly in a difficult position tonight. Back end of a back-to-back set here against a very energetic Phoenix Suns team. But again, Alonzo, give him credit. Physically, certainly holding up, and then some 10 points in that first half.
Well, he's had his moments where he's looked a little bit tired, but given the effort that he's already shown, 10 points, 5 rebounds in 10 minutes, you really can't ask for more. And as far as the team just being assembled, well, not the whole team has just been assembled. There's guys obviously back from last year when you look at Jefferson and Collins and a few of the others, but there are some guys trying to blend in, and when you try to blend in new guys, I agree with them. It just takes time. It takes time on the court. It takes that practice time to get to know one another. But eventually, they'll start settling on a rotation. We're seeing a lot of different combinations, and we've mentioned that a number of times that Lawrence will eventually decide who gets more minutes than others. And once you start getting your rotation, these guys will get used to playing with one another, and they should get better.
So Alonzo being worked on there by Nets strength and conditioning coach Rich Delatry. As the Phoenix Suns come out, Richardson, Joe Johnson, Stoudemire, Shawn Marion, and Steve Nash to start this third quarter. New Jersey countering with Jacques Vaughn and Ron Mercer in the backcourt, Richard Jefferson, Jason Collins, and Eric Williams. And we are underway in this third quarter. Nets And a 16-point hole here at the Meadowlands. 57-41. New Jersey again coming off that double overtime thriller last night in Chicago. And Jefferson misfiring to start the third.
Well, Spiro, we know they need some offense, but it really has to start with the defense. They've got to start slowing down Phoenix Suns and not giving up those shots like that by Joe Johnson. A triple and really not guarded over there. Someone missed an assignment and late getting over. Johnson knocks down the three.
It's been victimized tonight on that perimeter defense. Phoenix, some wide open looks. Jefferson with Shawn Marion closing.
Well, that's a big answer there. And again, they push that lead to 19 and you turn around and answer. I think it's always big when you give up a three to answer with a three.
There is Nash changing his mind in midair. Marion, that extra feed, finding Stoudemire. And these guys are so talented offensively, Kelly, but yet so unselfish with the basketball.
And that becomes contagious. You know, we say it a lot. The last few seasons, we've been able to watch Jason Kidd and watch how some of these other guys have become better passers. You see a guy pass and he's unselfish and gives it up. This is what we're seeing from the Phoenix Suns. Steve Nash has brought this dimension to the team, and you know, it's fun basketball. It's fun to play when you're unselfish and you make the extra pass to find a teammate. Sometimes a pass that leads to a score is just as good as scoring yourself.
Stoudemire misfiring on his first.
You got to make those free throws, though.
Kelly, excuse me, on Eric Williams, his third personal. That's certainly one aspect of Amar'e's game that he is still working on in the early stages of his NBA career. Shot clock winding down to 5 for New Jersey. Here is Jefferson right around Marion. And that floater rims off.
That was halfway down. Nice move there. Richard on the run there, got into the paint once again. Good penetration. You saw Stoudemire go up to look to block it and then take it away. Didn't want to get called for goaltending, and Richard had that one just come out on him.
RJ still showing no ill effects from his 57 minutes last night as Nash pulls the string on the jumper. Offensive rebound, Phoenix.
Stoudemire kept it alive to give him another opportunity.
It's Richardson working himself out of the corner. Now Joe Johnson orchestrating the offense.
Isolation, maybe not surprised to try to take the man off the dribble, having the size advantage. Now Stoudemire being guarded by Vaughn.
Well, Johnson recognizing the mismatch along the perimeter against Collins. And that one last touched by Stoudemire and Phoenix.
Yeah, if I'm Stoudemire, I'm going to say something to Johnson. Say, you got to get me the ball. If I got a 5'10" guy on me, I want it.
You can see the look of frustration there by Stoudemire. As we move now under the 10-minute mark. Jefferson again trying to float one through. Follows his own miss. And RJ will step to the free throw line.
Excellent hustle there. Again, Richard trying to force the issue, making plays, and then coming up with an offensive rebound, gets fouled on his way back up. He'll earn those 2 shots at the foul line.
There's Mike D'Antoni, second overall season at the helm of the Phoenix Suns. First full season in Phoenix.
He was a great player over in the European leagues for a number of years. Italian league, I believe, and
2-time coach of the year.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, coaching and playing and getting a feel, and certainly they've surrounded him, making a couple of new acquisitions in Nash and Richardson, and that'll make anybody a good coach when you get guys like that, huh?
Well, Mike D'Antoni has this reputation of being a mild-mannered guy, but there is a fiery side to his personality that his players certainly know about. Stoudemire draws contact.
Spiro, you have to have that type of mentality. I mean, you can be a player's coach, or what they call a player's coach, and be easygoing, but you also have to know when to crack the whip. It's just a matter of timing of when they need it and when they don't. So you back off when it's necessary, and you let them know that you're unhappy the way things are going when it's not.
Mike D'Antoni, 53 years of age. This is his second head coaching stint. Led the Denver Nuggets in that lockout season, 1999, as Shawn Marion steps out and knocks it down.
That little shot that, not the prettiest of things, but there's been a few guys in this league that have played with so-called ugly-looking shots.
There's Mercer now into the lane. They dare Vaughn to shoot, and Nash closes. And a miscommunication between Vaughn and Eric Williams.
It's like Eric Williams wanted to spin off, was anticipating getting a lob, but
Richardson that time running into Jason Collins. And Richardson called for the charge.
Out of control there, and again, Jason Collins so good at sliding over and getting in front. You see him take the hit, Good job by Twins.
Something that you see so often from Jason Collins, who's sacrificing his body. Collins, of course, signing his contract extension earlier in the week. 4 years, $24 million. Jefferson double team momentarily. Shot clock into single digits. They find Mercer left open. And New Jersey now starting to slowly chip away. They trail 63-48 with 8:35 left in this third quarter.
Well, something we've mentioned a lot with Richard Jefferson is knowing when there's a double team, and that happened right there on that last play as he got a double team and able to kick it to a teammate for a jump shot.
Nash left open, a three-pointer.
He's the complete package. I've always enjoyed watching Steve Nash play, and very successful in Dallas, and he's going to be very successful here in Phoenix too.
Three-point shooting numbers in this quarter. Neither team has missed so far. Now Jefferson, shot clock down to 8, launches and knocks it down. He had his foot on the line that time. A two-pointer from Jefferson.
No hesitation, though. You see how quickly he shot that? Marion couldn't react.
Well, Nash uncharacteristically coughs it up there. And another aspect that Nash brings to this team, Kelly, makes him a better road team with his intelligence and his ball handling. Last year, Phoenix just 11-30 away from home.
Yeah, that's huge, too, because and he never tires, too. Sometimes I think he wears himself out during the course of a long season, but that's the way Steve Nash plays, and he's not going to change.
Richard foul call that time. Quentin Richardson.
Let's get a look at this. Personal. Sorry, Spiro. Let's get a look at Richard Jefferson here. He's going to take the basketball. And as you see, he gets a double team here. He has to recognize that. Where's the open man? There's a couple of guys that are going to fill in over here. And you see, he'll take it off. There it collapses. The kick out. Mercer steps into his zone where he's comfortable. Knocks down the jump shot. Textbook basketball.
It's down 16 points. Eric Williams. It'll fall away in the lane. Williams trying to work himself into the offense. His second field goal tonight, 5 points. Approach 7 minutes left to play in this third quarter. Here's Nash working into the corner. Now Stoudemire.
Oh, he's so quick.
Foul called on Jason Collins. Amar'e Stoudemire, a handful for any frontline player.
Now he's an excellent ball handler for a big man. And he takes that dribble with that great quickness. He just kind of goes around you. It's hard to stay with him for that extra dribble as he gets all the way to the hole, and Collins has to take the foul.
You talk about these Phoenix Sun players and how they will all be aided by the presence now of Steve Nash. As you take a look at Amar'e's early career resume there, the former Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago, but you could certainly make the argument that no one will benefit more in developing in terms of their career than a young Amar'e Stoudemire. Here's Travis Best knifing through the defense, and this time getting a little bit too cute with it.
Yeah, that's not going to make the coaches too happy there. You turn your back and you throw the ball over your shoulder. That's not necessary. You know, make the pass, keep it simple, make sure it connects. You get no style points in this league.
9 turnovers tonight for New Jersey. Phoenix trying to take advantage. Shot clock down to 8 seconds. Marion. Stoudemire calling for it, finally gets it. Turns and faces on Collins. Eric Williams knocked it away, and Mercer comes up with the steal.
Not sure he had enough time to even make a move. May have got a shot clock violation if he continued to go.
That's trying to find Jefferson in the low block. Now Eric Williams backing in on Richardson. Forced that time, and Eric Williams with back-to-back field goals.
A tough shot there, a little isolation. Working against Quentin Richardson. A nice fadeaway goes for Eric Williams. Again, looking for more consistent scoring there.
That's trailed by 16 at the break. It's a 14-point deficit currently. Nash nearly had it stolen, and finally it's taken away by Jefferson. Now one-on-one, a foot race. Mercer puts it down, and a foul is called.
That play's all made on hustle. It was the defense by Jefferson getting on the floor, making it happen, and it leads to a bucket by Mercer as he finishes, and he'll get a free throw after the timeout.
So the Nets defense into offense. Ron Mercer able to finish the play off for New Jersey. Richard Jefferson getting his hands dirty after his 57-minute performance last night. And the Nets with a chance to cut it to 11 after this timeout.
Introducing the new 2005 Ford Escape XLT Edition. Equipped with a more powerful engine, superior ride and handling, luxurious interior appointments, leather seating, premium sound, and so much more. And right now you can purchase a Ford Escape XLT Edition for $269 a month. Just $269. Extraordinary savings for a limited time only.
Don't tell me what to do!
Get up. Stop it.
Shut up! Get up!
Why get residential cable for our business? Verizon Business DSL gives us remote dial-up access. We can network multiple computers at no extra charge. And we get 24/7 business tech support. Can cable do that? Can cable do that?
You okay?
Oh, just a bad dream.
Get the broadband value that does more for your business at a great price. Call 1-866-YES-2-DSL for Verizon Business DSL.
Verizon.
Back inside the Meadowlands, we take a look at the Samsung closer look replay. And Kelly, something we saw so much of last night in Chicago, the Nets diving on the floor for loose balls, trying to make things happen.
Have to value every possession. Hustle points mean a lot, and certainly Richard Jefferson, Eric Williams getting on the floor. The beneficiary, obviously, was Ron Mercer, who ends up getting the bucket here, takes a nice little hit. Good concentration, make the shot, and now an opportunity to finish the three-point play. And it's always great to see your star player, make those type of plays like Richard Jefferson to get on the floor. But that's the type of player that Richard has become, not afraid to take those hits and make those dirty plays, getting on the floor for loose balls.
Saw RJ being worked on by the Nets training staff there. Floor burn on his right tricep. RJ doesn't skip a beat, right back into the game. And New Jersey now, Kelly, in the midst of a 9-2 offensive run. Stoudemire nowhere to go with it. And a flat-footed jumper.
You know the old saying, Sparrow, when in doubt, shoot. And Amar'e Stoudemire was looking for someone to pass to, and
that was
couldn't
your
find
motto.
anybody. Yeah. Nobody else is going to make it.
Eric Williams trying to keep it in bounds there. And here was Tim Walsh a moment ago working on that cut. Right tricep of Jefferson.
They develop into a nice little floor burn there. Used to call him a strawberry.
Jefferson now with possession. Shot clock down to 9 seconds. We approach 5 minutes left in the quarter. Jefferson is gliding in midair, able to finish.
Tough shot there. Spin dribble in the lane, and how about the double clutch? Bottom.
RJ now starting to come on. 17 points after that early foul trouble. And a traveling call as Mercer had come up with the steal. Unable to maintain possession.
Watch this move. Senses, feels the defense, spins away from it, and how about the change of direction as Voskuhl had come over. Boy, he makes that look easy, and trust me, folks, it's not.
You just see his game develop every time he steps on the floor. Richard Jefferson, his 4th NBA season. The Nets shooting this quarter. Missed just 3 of 10 shots in Phoenix meantime. Answering with Shawn Marion.
Well, another athletic guy. They're going tooth and nail at each other. Two members of the Olympic team this past summer, Shawn Marion, Richard Jefferson, going at it.
Travis Best in for New Jersey. Jake Voskuhl has checked in for Phoenix. Shot clock again in single digits. Marion knocked it away from RJ. Now Mercer left open. And Voskuhl with the rebound. Phoenix again trying to push tempo at every opportunity. That's a nice job getting back in the transition defense.
And you have to respect that and get back in the paint, as you said, and then try to work your way outside. But you also have to get there quicker because they got those shooters on the perimeter.
This is the last team you want to face on the back end of a back-to-back set. Marion trying to follow his miss, and Travis Best getting his hands dirty.
Particularly after you play a double overtime game like they did, and they're sitting here pretty much waiting for you, and you're getting in at 5 in the morning. But you know, that's just part of life in the NBA doesn't always seem fair.
Travis Best some big shots down the stretch late last night. And Richard Jefferson climbing the back that time, called for the personal. That'll be number 3 against Jefferson. Now, people don't really talk about the announcers. Kelly, how do you feel? You didn't get much sleep this morning.
I've had a full day already. I'm tired. I don't like going to bed at 5 o'clock, and I went to see my son's football game today, and then coming here to work with you. A little bit in a fog, but you know what? You got to be like the players. No excuses.
They say the older you get, the less sleep you need.
Yeah, I don't want to admit to that, but you'll find out. You'll be there sometime.
Here's Stoudemire. Outside shot, knocks it down.
Right now, any sleep I can get is a good thing. I can't burn the candle like you do. At both ends, by the way, folks. I'm jealous.
Here's Morning working baseline that time, trying to tiptoe there onto the basket.
Yeah, Bosco working against Morning defensively there. Thought he had cut off. Always teach you to step on that baseline. Don't give it up. But Bosco gets called for the foul. A little bit of a force out there. Push, since there's no such thing anymore in the NBA as a force out. There used to be when I played. But a personal foul. Nets will have it side out.
Jake Bosco picking up his 3rd. New Jersey now inbounding with 14 to shoot. There's Morning.
Double team, got to recognize it, get rid of it quickly, and extra pass.
Now Eric Williams, shot clock down to 6. Williams inside, Morning, good catch, and again stuffs it over Stoudemire.
And that's what we saw Alonzo do a lot last night. Great sense of coming to the middle and parking himself there. When the passes are going around the perimeter, he just finally wedges his way in there and finishes in a flush.
Here's Marion spotting up. Look at Leandro Barbosa, I beg your pardon, spotting up, the 2nd-year man out of Brazil. And now some words being exchanged here. I believe a technical was called on Amar'e Stoudemire.
Okay.
Jess Kersey trying to explain things to Amar'e there. Looks very confused. Now Mike D'Antoni will come over.
Yeah, I don't know. We weren't looking underneath exactly what the call is, but it's going to be a technical after we come back. We got a timeout in the action here. Alonzo Mourning providing a spark and energy with the flush. Suns lead 77-61. We'll be back. Now back at Continental Airlines Arena. Get a look at that last play. Check out Amar'e Stoudemire right here. Ball goes down. There's a shove there. You see Travis Best try to contain him. And according to the referee, Bob Delaney, that's called a physical taunt, which means basically dead ball because the basketball is already in the air. And you see Stoudemire just shove Travis Best. Dead ball situation. They shoot the free throw, the technical free throw, and now they'll take it back down the other end of the court after the basket was made. New Jersey will inbound the basketball.
That's out of the timeout with Best, Collins, Eric Williams, Alonzo Mourning, and Ron Mercer. Double team zone. Now Williams, quick look underneath. It's deflected. Collins recovers. Fall away jumper, and Shawn Marion skying in the air for the rebound.
Phoenix did a good job of coming out of the double team very quickly to match up with players. That's a good job there defensively by Phoenix.
Stoudemire has that spring in his step right now after he was called for the tech. And again, he'll step to the free throw line as Jefferson will check back in for New Jersey.
Now he's got that spring in his step, Sparrow, because Alonzo Mourning is challenging him. And when a guy challenges you, you have to step up. You've got to meet force with force. And right now, nice action between the young guy, Amar'e Stoudemire, and the veteran, Alonzo Mourning.
We saw the Twin Towers set for New Jersey, Kelly, with Mourning and Collins in late preseason action. A brief stint there for both players as Aaron Williams replaces Collins.
And really the same situation here because Aaron Williams, probably more suited to a power forward, but good size and strength. And obviously the Nets need some size up front. So now you've got pretty strong front line, at least with those two guys, Mourning and the A-train, Aaron Williams.
Stoudemire after the free throws now 18 points in addition to his 6 rebounds. Again, they double team Mourning.
Quickly, too.
Jefferson underneath to Williams, blocked by Stoudemire, and a jump ball call.
Now the Nets did everything right in recognizing the situation. Quick pass out of the double team. Nice inside pass, and as the A-train goes up, Stoudemire goes up with him. and comes down with the basketball. Good call by the referees. That'll be a jump ball situation.
Stoudemire last night in Philadelphia, 29 points and 10 rebounds. Had his fourth-year option exercised by Phoenix just the other day. Now signed through 2006.
Who wouldn't sign him? He's making a big mistake.
He is certainly one of the bright young stars in the NBA. Johnson spinning out of the double team. Now Stoudemire into the corner. Marion. Alonzo trying to challenge. And Aaron Williams, a brave move that time. Trying to step in front of the matrix.
Now you could almost sense as they swung that ball to the corner as Marion got Alonzo Mourning off his feet. Here comes Marion. He's winded up, and a nice job there. You see Aaron Williams went right to the chest. This is a veteran play. Watch this move. So he tried to keep him away from the basket. Without being dirty, Shawn Marion was about to throw that one down with his elbow, I think, but I like the play by Aaron Williams. Clean, but effective.
Well, you keep him away from the basket there, using your weak off arm to push him away in midair as Marion steps to the line.
You don't want to take a cheap shot, and that certainly was not. That's just a good basketball play to prevent a layup, or in that case, what would have been a vicious dunk by Marion.
Maciej Lampe, the second-year man who had a big first half off the bench for Phoenix, checks in for the first time in this third quarter. Next at a 17-point haul, they trailed at the break. 15-point margin. No Mourning now.
No double team this time, though, Spiro.
Alonzo turns. Just a face on Voskuhl, and he coughed it up. Now Barbosa. A 3-on-2 break, and Marion couldn't finish.
Probably wanted to dunk that and just wasn't in the position to, and that one rolled off the rim for him.
It's Jefferson inside for Williams. And a whistle stops play. Aaron Williams bumped and fouled. He'll step to the free throw line. With a minute 10 left to play in this third quarter, and now the fatigue factor for the Nets starting to set in. Keep in mind, this is a team that was involved in that double overtime game last night in Chicago. 3 hours and 14 minutes.
Good call there, Spiro, because that's when it takes effect. As you start winding down the third, heading into the fourth, who has their legs? And Quentin Richardson, by the way, picked up his fourth foul. And the first free throw missed by Aaron Williams.
Well, Aaron should have fresh legs. He played just 6 minutes last night. Very surprising. Also, Brian Scalabrine should be expected to play heavy minutes in the fourth and final quarter. Veal last night just 9 minutes in Chicago.
Screen and roll situation involving Lampe again.
Lampe may have gone away with an extra step that time. Here's Johnson baseline. And a pushing foul.
Well, better job defensively by the Nets on that screen and roll situation involving Lampe. Didn't get an opportunity to step back and shoot, but here we get a foul on the perimeter. Johnson will head to the line as the Nets are over the limit.
Impressed, Kelly. Certainly the outside stroke of a Maciej Lampe at the size he has, 6'11", 275, but the ball handling and passing.
Yeah, here's that D we talked about. Good step out there, and you see the closeout. You see Alonzo step out and then get back, and that's very hard for a big man to do, anybody to do. But you've got to be aware of it, and certainly they learned their lesson in the first half, Spiro.
Second free throw from Johnson rims off. Eric Williams the rebound. Now Travis Best will work against Barbosa. Final 43 seconds of this third quarter. Nets trying to close out strong as they find themselves at a 17-point hole, make it 15.
Tough shot.
As Best knocks down the floating runner.
Going to get a delay game or clock situation, I think. Yeah, they're going to fix the clock. 37.8.
Put another second and a half on it. A 13-second differential between shot and game clock.
They go quickly. They would have had a 2-for-1. I don't think they have enough time now. They'll settle for the best available.
Shawn Marion, shot clock down to 7 seconds. Now Joe Johnson, Jefferson, quick closeout. Johnson over 2 defenders, and Mourning the rebound. Nets have time. Shot clock turned off. 9 seconds left in the third.
Probably open it up here for Jefferson, give him some kind of screen and try to pick apart the defense.
RJ knifing through, a hard foul that time. Now his former Olympic teammate, Shawn Marion. number 3 on Marion.
Talk about it's a nice screen, little crossover against the bigger guys, a little bit easy takeoff. And Marion met him up there, but got a piece of the arm. Richard at the line for 2.
RJ arguably in his finest game as a professional athlete last night. 26 points, career high 21 rebounds in those 57 minutes. As Eric Williams will take a seat for the final 3.5 seconds. Ron Mercer checks back in.
That's a huge number, 21 rebounds. I mean, anytime you can do that at 6'7", that's pretty impressive.
Also those 11 turnovers for RJ last night. Jefferson, that half-court heave off the mark. New Jersey closing out that third quarter in strong fashion, able to cut it to a 13-point deficit. On the other side, the Phoenix Suns trying to start a season 3-0 for the first time in 20 years. 3 quarters complete here in East Rutherford. Tri-State Ford presents tonight's key matchup, and Richard Jefferson raising the bar last night with his minutes. It's a tough act to follow tonight.
It certainly is, but you know, Richard Jefferson, yeoman's work last night with the 57 minutes, but still getting it done tonight, doing a nice job and trying to slice up this Phoenix Suns defense, which is not an easy thing to do. Richard very effective, taking people off the dribble and find just enough opening. And doing an excellent job in getting to that paint area, getting pretty good looks. And certainly he's going to need some help before this fourth quarter is over.
Steve Nash on the floor for Phoenix to start this fourth quarter. Shot clock winds down at 9 seconds. Johnson surrounded by 3 net defenders. Now it's Nash against Best. Nash trying to fight his way through. Johnson, a 3-pointer, buries it.
That's all Steve Nash, though. You know, he doesn't panic. He knows the clock situation. And he does whatever he can to try to draw 2 or 3 defenders to him. And somehow he finds a way to get rid of it to an open spot-up shooter.
Kelly, that the 8th assist tonight for Steve Nash. Jefferson had it knocked away. Williams had a hand on it. And that one last touched by Phoenix. New Jersey starting the quarter with Jefferson, Collins, Mercer, Aaron Williams, and Travis Best. Phoenix countering with Johnson, Voskuhl, Jacobson, Steve Nash, and Maciej Lampe. And in addition to those 8 assists for Nash, 15 points for the Phoenix point guard. Nets with possession, trying to cut into a 16-point deficit. Jefferson spotting up, and that's a triple.
Yeah, good job there. Penetration was the key. Travis Best getting inside, a little kick out as they went to a 1-4 set. Jefferson knocks it down.
RJ now with a game-high 22 points. Nets need to clamp up on this end of the floor, however, on the defensive side. Jacobson a catch and shoot. Oh, he is so skilled if you give him space.
They've equipped themselves with just enough shooters where, you know, you get all these guys that can penetrate. You can't take away everything, and that's a case where you're worried about inside penetration. You have to take away lanes, but then you have to be able to recover, and that time they couldn't get out to Jacobson, and nails it.
Jacobson last night just 10 minutes in Philadelphia. He's played 10 minutes so far in this game. Here's Mercer. Shot clock down to 3 seconds. Best outside for Mercer, has to force. And Aaron Williams with the offensive rebound and a fresh 24.
Lampe looking for a push-off. No call there as Aaron Williams gets an offensive board.
Here's Jefferson. The offensive catalyst for the 2nd straight night for New Jersey.
Wave off the basket there. Foul occurred on the floor. Nets will have it side out. I believe that was on Jacobson. It was. Second. Team's second, by the way.
Just under 2 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter. Nets started at home here on Wednesday night, their season opener. It's not the way they wanted to start in front of their home fans, trying to bounce back tonight against Phoenix. As Jefferson strong arms him.
Watch Steve Nash head up, directing traffic, pointing, getting people in the right place, and then finding an open shooter like Lampe there.
A rare miss for Maciej Lampe. 10 first-half points off the bench. Now Jefferson, Aaron Williams trying to challenge the 2nd-year man. Collins the offensive rebound.
Yeah, just taking up the space there. Good job by Collins. Use that body and get in there for the offensive putback.
Well, the Nets right now just trading buckets. They need defense here.
Lampe turned down an open look there.
Here's Johnson weaving his way through traffic. Nicely done by the fourth-year man, Joe Johnson, 23 years of age, still a very young player in this league. And he will step to the free throw line as Stoudemire replaces Lampe.
Saw a young team last night, Spiro, in Chicago, and this team, the Phoenix Suns, they got some veterans, but they've got an awful lot of young guys as well. You look at Jacobson, Johnson, Stoudemire. These guys aren't old by any means.
And what a job done by the
Lampe. He's young as well.
The front office, Brian Colangelo, and the Suns front office just building this team, Kelly, after what was a nightmare season a year ago. Their worst season, in fact, in 16 years, just 29-53, as we talked about at the top of the game.
No one likes losing, and as strong as the West has been over the last couple of years, I think Phoenix has a good opportunity to get back to some success.
Long two-point field goal attempt by Best rims off. Here's Johnson. Tough pass to handle cross court.
Oh, he had the open man, Jacobson, in the corner, but he tried to do too much. He dribbled into traffic and couldn't make a good pass. We're going to take a break here. Phoenix up 87-72. We'll be back.
What starts as a thread ends as the fabric of a champion. Tuesday, Portland Blazers East with Brooklyn's Sebastian Telfair to take on the Nets in New Jersey. Blazers Nets. Coverage starts Tuesday at 7, only on Yes.
My basketball New Year resolution is to bring excitement to the Garden.
My basketball New Year's resolution is to catch every oop from Mike Bibby.
Mine is to average a triple-double. To keep playing the game the right way. My basketball New Year's resolution is to become more popular in Seattle than coffee.
This year, I want to keep playing hard every single night.
Happy basketball New Year.
Nets fans, here's a way to enjoy the excitement of Nets basketball and save money. With the 8-game weekend and weekday mini plans, you get a discounted ticket and a ninth game at no additional cost. If flexibility is what you need, go for the Pick 6 plan. Remember, all Nets mini plans give you tickets at a discounted price along with other benefits. Call 1-800-7-NJ-NETS today to order your Nets mini plan. Be a part of it. Call 800-7-NJ-NETS. Spiro Dinas, Kelly Tripucka, our entire Yes Network team with you from Continental Airlines Arena here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nets out of the timeout with Jefferson, Eric Williams, Mourning, Collins, and Jacques Vaughn. Shot clock down to 9 seconds. Down low to Zoe. A turnaround shot. They'll wave off the field goal.
Two-handed shove there from behind by Bosco. He'll pick up the personal, but Spiro, it seems like every time the Nets start to make a little bit of run and make a dent in that Phoenix lead, Phoenix responds. And they really haven't gotten this lead, it seems like, under 10 at all since they built it up to over 10. So Phoenix doing a nice job as we get Nash here with a pick.
And Steve Nash, look out, tied up. And Jacques Vaughn will put him on the free throw line. Good sportsmanship. Jacques trying to make sure that Nash is okay. And Jacques Vaughn, not much of a factor when you compare his numbers to last night.
You see Nash, good anticipation, just got a hand in the passing lane, picked it up, took it down the other end. But Phoenix, again, they've had answers for everything the Nets have done. They've shown a lot of confidence in what they, what they're running in their sets. Good job at the defensive end when they need a stop, and of course they've been consistent, at the offensive end all night, it seems.
Suns' lead has been 10+ points since they were up 31-23 back in the first quarter. They have dominated so far tonight.
For a team, they're usually looking to try to get that lead down to single digits. The Nets just not have been able to do it. When you get a block shot, there's the defense we talked about. That great quickness by Phoenix.
Stephen Hunter had blocked that shot. Just another body for Mike D'Antoni to go to off the bench.
And we talked about him in the first half, his length. And we get a look. Thinks he's got an opening. Well, that closes up real quick as Hunter with that long reach. He and Stoudemire both going after that. A couple of young pups.
Casey Jacobson at the free throw line. His future with the Suns in question after they went out and signed Steve Nash and Quinn Richardson. He'll become a restricted free agent next off-season for Phoenix. Did not have his contract renewed.
Well, it all depends. I mean, sometimes, with a player like him, if he can become a consistent shooter, obviously it works in his behalf. With a guy like Nash, you can set up a guy like that. You never have enough shooting as far as I'm concerned.
There's Jefferson up high for the offensive rebound. And the whistle there by Bob Delaney. Jefferson can't believe it.
Over the back, I guess. Either way, Richard's upset. Number 4 on Jefferson.
Jefferson has done all he could tonight. Limited action, had the early foul trouble and 2 quick personals in the first 3 minutes of action back in the first quarter. Jefferson tonight, 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists.
There's a screen there by Stephen Hunter. He just facialed Jacques Vaughn. He took enough hits last night. I don't think he wants to take any more.
Well, if I'm Jacques Vaughn, I'm getting Eric Williams' ear right now and telling him, you better call out that screen next time.
He'll get a look. He'll get a little hump up, and now here's the second one. And that's faces in the numbers right there. That's old football term, Spiro.
Either Eric Williams or Jason Collins.
Now, nice little play. They rub off the guard there, and you didn't get much of Vaughn the first time, but then go back and get him again, and no one told Jacques Vaughn about it, and he just ran face first right into the chest or stomach of Stephen Hunter and paid the price. No question about it.
In the meantime, he nets in the penalty, Kelly, and the Suns right now in control. As Stephen Hunter off the mark. Stoudemire, the offensive rebound. And suddenly the Phoenix Suns with a 21-point advantage.
Boy, and you mentioned being in the penalty already with 7:40 to go in the game. That's huge for Phoenix throughout this quarter. Down 21. Boy, you don't want to be in that position where every foul now puts them on the line as well. It's tough to catch up in that situation.
Who will step up for New Jersey? Jefferson has been their lone bright spot tonight offensively. Here's Jefferson. Step back jumper. Look at Hunter get up high for the rebound.
He's doing just what Mike D'Antoni was hoping to do. At least he is tonight. Rebounding, blocking shots, being an intimidator. Good role player.
Here's Stoudemire, bumped by Eric Williams. Shot clock down at 9 seconds. Here's Richardson. And leave him open. Switches to the left hand in midair. And then follows his own miss.
Got to go in there stronger than that. That was kind of bailout there by Richardson as he wanted to dunk it, but then you turn your back. You got to go in there thinking you're going to get fouled, but you got to make them foul you.
Oh, great feed underneath, and again the unselfishness. Stoudemire to a wide open Stephen Hunter. Everyone getting involved tonight for the Phoenix Suns, and Lawrence Frank signaling for timeout.
Fatigue is starting to show.
Stoudemire underneath, and the fourth-year man Stephen Hunter out of DePaul with an easy 2 points. Timeout. It's additional insight from Tiki Barber. Don't miss This Week in Football tonight after the postgame, only on Yes. The Nets just 2 field goals, Kelly, in this quarter. 2 of 11 in this final stanza. As the nod Kirstich, the rookie, into the game. Jefferson off the mark from the outside. Lawrence Frank looking for any kind of offensive spark right now.
Well, Nene Kristich is certainly a guy that is the most well-rested out of the bunch. He did not play at all last night in Chicago, and a good opportunity. You're down big. You might as well see what the young fellow can do.
Shot clock down to 6 seconds. Jacobson works against Mercer. Then Kirstich comes over on the help defense. They force Jacobson out of bounds. A rare turnover tonight for Phoenix. Now you look at this Suns team, Kelly, and they have been as impressive as anyone could have expected 3 games into the season.
Yeah, they just look like they're just cruising along, and win last night in Philadelphia, come here tonight against the Nets, and come over with probably another win. Is still 5.5 minutes left, but a big hill to climb for New Jersey. Now down 21 as Mercer scores.
Too little, too late from Ron Mercer. The Nets really needed something from him tonight, but he has been quiet. 13 points, 6 of 13 shooting. And Stephen Hunter run into by Eric Williams that time.
Now the big fella's got to get better hands there. Couldn't handle that initial pass by Nash. You get a look at the Hideki Matsui of the Phoenix Suns. That's Yuta Tabusi.
That's the first Japanese-born player to make an NBA roster.
He's got a big following, and I guarantee you all these people that are still here in the arena are waiting for him to get in the ball game, and they want him to hit a home run like Matsui does.
Boosie, 24 years of age, actually went to camp with Phoenix last season.
Yeah.
Did not make the team. And
he's given it a couple of shots, and he finally got rewarded, and it's good. I mean, he's a fun little player, and if he gets the opportunity, I'm sure he's going to make a lot of people happy that came to see him here in the metropolitan area.
And Boosie, Kelly, also the first Division II player to make an NBA roster. Jefferson follows his own miss, and then swallowed up by Stoudemire. And the two getting together, also Olympic teammates in Athens this last summer. So Richard Jefferson's frustrations will continue here at the start. Of course, forced to shoulder so much of the scoring burden as the Nets continue on here early on in the season without Jason Kidd. And in the meantime, Utah to Boosie on the other end of the floor. Some of his numbers collegiately at BYU, Hawaii.
Sounds good. Anything of Hawaii in it sounds good to me. I kind of like that. I think I know you can handle it, but
not a bad place to go to school.
Yeah, I'm not sure about going to class very often, but I'd be very good at that beach and golf stuff.
We applaud Utah on his college degree in a very tough situation.
See Kristich trying to stay in there and hang against Stoudemire. I'm not sure he's seen many guys like him, but took a little pop there, came away with the rebound.
Eric Williams left open, a little bit outside of his shooting range. And Joe Johnson set to check back in at the scorer's table.
They're going to have a couple of days off before they play the next game in Chicago, and then on a back-to-back with the Cavaliers right after that. Leave on Tuesday and Wednesday, so Phoenix off to a nice start on their 4-game Eastern swing. Be heading towards a 3-0 record.
All knocked away. Here's Quentin Richardson, so dangerous in the open floor, and Kirstich back in the transition defense. New Jersey back quickly. Jefferson, but the pass from Mercer too high. And that's the night it's been so far for New Jersey.
They're trying for a little showtime. Nice job by Nenad Kristich getting back on defense to thwart the alley-oop by Phoenix, but then New Jersey couldn't handle their end of it, and they turn it over. And Steve Nash will slowly bring it up with 3:45 left in the ball game.
Jefferson finished for the night. Also Ron Mercer sitting down. As Planinic back in, Brian Scalabrine is in as well. Here's Marion from the corner. Stoudemire a hand on it. And the rookie Kirstich tracks it down. Valuable time now for Nenad Kristich. Stoudemire tracks down the rebound underneath.
Yeah, the only way for Kristich, Spiro, is to get better, obviously, to get a little time. And you might be able to hear some excitement through your television. The aforementioned Yuta Tabusi getting ready to check in.
Oh, Quentin Richardson, look out. The right-handed stuff right through the New Jersey defense.
Well, Tabusi may be getting ready to check in, but check out Q, Quentin Richardson, a monster finish. And Lawrence Frank is going to take a timeout. The last look at Quentin Richardson, high flyer, flushing it home. Phoenix leading big here at the Continental. Now Tuesday on Yes, the Nets host the Portland Trail Blazers. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock with Fred Hickman in the Samsung pregame. Then join Ian Eagle and me for all the action starting at 7:30 when the Nets take on the Blazers right here on Yes.
And so Yuta Tabusi, the first Japanese-born player ever to make an NBA roster, getting his first minutes for Phoenix on his young season. The crowd applauding as he took the floor.
Boy, is he little. look at the cheer.
Tabusi just 5'9", 165 pounds. Here's Casey Jacobson.
Give him a lot of credit.
Crowd encouraging the visiting player to shoot. Yuta Tabusi.
Well, it works in cycles. Number one, you come to the game because you want to see him get in. And once he gets in, you don't settle for that. You want to see him score. So Yuta better get a shot or two up here to make these people happy.
In the final 2 minutes, 20 seconds left to play in this final quarter. Stephen Hunter falling away. How impressive has Hunter looked tonight?
Well, I'm not sure that's in his bag of tricks, that's for sure. A little smile there, and I think it's one of, I think I got a little bit lucky there, Stephen Hunter.
Here's Courtsidepodden trying to answer. Help defense from Hunter, blocked it away, but Maciej Lampe called for the foul.
I'm going to say a couple of Europeans going at it underneath. Nice little move there by Courtsidepodden. Got free, took it up strong. He'll earn a trip to the foul line and a pair of free throws.
Now, if you're Lawrence Frank Kelly, obviously.
Spiro, what's that say?
Get my Chinese or Japanese handbook out here.
I don't know. It had a little hole cut out in it. Something to do, you know, guess my weight or something like that. I'm not sure. There you go.
He's having a good old time.
It looks like a brother or something.
Now Tillsammans has it. Tillsammans did play 10 minutes in their season opening game against the Atlanta Hawks.
Had a look.
Not taking advantage that time. He finds Jacobson and he knocks down a three.
Hey, Tillsammans assists, count it.
So Utah on the stat sheet tonight. And that fan will go home even happier.
Now, no matter who you are, you're the 12th man or the first man, you never want to be a sideshow. You want to be known as a player. And Tillsammans showing you there. A lot of patience, gets himself an assist, gives the little guy credit.
Shot clock down to 6. Jacques Vaughn and Hunter pinning it against the backboard. And look who runs the break. Tillsammans, the look away.
Got some quickness, I'll tell you that. He got down the floor, a little smile. Didn't get the bucket, but how about the defense from Stephen Hunter? And Tillsammans had a little look there, but penetration sets up his teammate. Jacobson nails it, and Tillsammans gets himself an assist and let that one go a little bit too early there, feeling the pressure. 0 for 1 and an assist, so he's filling up the box score in a hurry, Spiro.
Some showmanship from Utah Tillsammans tonight. As Leandro Barbosa with a chance at the free throw line. An 11-0 run for the Phoenix Suns.
How about the roster of this Phoenix Suns team? It's a little international flair, isn't it?
Well, that's the theme right now in the NBA. International players scattered about.
Yeah, look at Barbosa and Lampe and Tillsammans. And
test your pronunciation skills.
Right through the alphabet.
Scalabrine inside to Courtsidepodden. And Jacques Vaughn right back to Nenad. Wants to take Hunter off the dribble. Good footwork, but he couldn't finish.
Gonna go up a little bit stronger.
Final minute of play, and on the one side, Kelly, it's all fun and games for Phoenix, but Lawrence Frank, another game and another loss for New Jersey as Hunter one dribble to free himself, and he banks it home. And for a third straight game to start this season, the Nets have allowed 100-plus points, and obviously last night a double overtime game, but the defense certainly not up to par early on.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Spiro, because of the fact that, you look up at that number, it's the points allowed, and plus, on top of that, they're struggling scoring the basketball. That's a bad combination when you're giving up 100. That man certainly not happy with the way things are going, and he could help. We're talking about Jason Kidd. That's got to be tough to watch.
And a reminder, Kelly, to keep it here after the final buzzer for the Nissan postgame with Fred Hickman and Leslie Bogosian. Interviews and analysis of tonight's game, plus scores and highlights from around the NBA. It's the Nissan postgame coming up after the game, only on Yes. Final half minute here at the Meadowlands, New Jersey. Fall to 1-2. Barbosa showing you some of his hops. And right around the defense.
You mentioned his wingspan earlier in the game, Spiro, and took full advantage of it there.
Barbosa is 6'3". His wingspan is 6'10". As Planinic with a nifty left-handed scoop off glass.
It'll end up being a deficit of 32-13 for the Nets, and we talked about maybe watching the fatigue factor, and it certainly crept in here in the fourth quarter. Phoenix going to go away with a big-time win. 112-80. That'll be it in favor of the Phoenix Suns.
Well, Richard Jefferson has seen enough as he makes his way into the locker room, and the boos here at the Meadowlands. The Nets run out of the juke tonight by the Phoenix Suns here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Final score tonight, Phoenix 112, New Jersey 80. Special thanks to producer Frank DeGrace, director John Wilson, supervising producer Woody Fryman, the executive producer of the Yes Network, John Filippelli. Join us again Tuesday at 7:30 when the Nets host the Portland Trailblazers. Now stay tuned for the Nissan postgame show. For more, log on to yesnetwork.com. And so for Kelly Tripucka, our entire Yes Network team, I'm Spiro Dinas. Brett Hickman in the postgame coming up next.